Getting better because people are going to continue to pass the word and tell at least two people. So if you'd like to advertise on the show, I'd love to be your partner. Hit me up at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. That's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com, and we'll get on it. We'll get on it, doggone it. You best believe that. All right. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. That's 404-382-0338. All right. So word on the street Wednesday, and word on the street, if you haven't heard, is that there's a quarterback controversy in Washington. Unnamed members of the New England Patriots organization are not alone in their sentiment that the Washington Redskins would better off with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Franchise icon Joe Theismann made waves on the Redskins broadcast network early in the fourth quarter of Friday's game when he declared that Cousins has severely outplayed Robert Griffin III this preseason. Okay, and talked about how great that story he was. He was fantastic during preseason, and now he continues to be fantastic. Got a big win this past weekend, and everybody keeps talking about what Joe said in preseason. But when you look at what Robert Griffin III has done as his body of work, and when you look at what Kirk Cousins has done this past weekend, even though they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, huge game. Okay, 427 yards passing. That's crazy. They lose 37-34, but a huge game nonetheless. And Kirk Cousins, a lot of people are saying, is the better fit for the Washington Redskins and what Jay Gruden likes to do offensively. How about that? Is that not a blip? I remember when the draft happened with Robert Griffin III and Andrew Luck. That was the big question. It was almost like Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning. Like, which one do you take? Which one's going to be the franchise quarterback? You know what happened with Peyton and Ryan Leaf. It's starting to look like that type of scenario with Robert Griffin and Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is just fantastic. Hadn't gone deep into the playoffs. Hadn't won a Super Bowl. But you can see that he has the capability of being an all-timer. You see it. I mean, there's just no denying it. Robert Griffin III, not so much. Not so much. Because of the injuries. You saw flashes when he was a freshman. You saw that he could play at this level, especially with the offense that they kind of put around him that fit his skill set, his rookie year in Washington. But now, Mike Shanahan's gone, several injuries, a couple of ACL tears, and he's never going to be that same guy that you saw win the Heisman Trophy at Baylor. I mean, I think those days are gone. Do you think, or can he be a player that's a solid starter in the NFL even? That's possible. We don't know. Time will tell. He's probably going to miss another 6 to 8 weeks because of the injury that he sustained last weekend. So what's the long-term circumstances for Robert Griffin III? I want to get your thoughts on that. I'd love to talk to someone in D.C. Have the fans soured on Robert Griffin III, or even a Redskins fans? What's your thoughts on Robert Griffin III? Do you think that he's that dude? Do you think that he's that guy that can come back and take this team to a Super Bowl at some point, maybe even win a Super Bowl at some point? Or are you riding or dying with Kirk Cousins? That's what I want to ask. That's the thought, because the way I feel right now is I don't have any trust in Robert Griffin III's knees. His knees are just bad. And some people are just, if you watch him when he runs the ball, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, when he runs the ball and when he slides, it's so awkward. It's like his knees are like spaghetti. Like they're coming out of joint, and every time he slides, every time he runs, it's just, you worry that the guy's going to pick up another injury. So now his whole entire game, the way that he's played the game his entire life, has pretty much changed. Okay? So it's changed. You don't know what exactly you're going to get from the guy now after all these injuries. So it's a real tough situation when you talk about what's going on up there with the Washington Redskins. Hit me up, 404-382-0338. That's 404-382-0338. It's a Woman Wednesday as well. And what Women's Wednesday is basically if you're a lady, I wish I had that sound clip. If you're a lady and you have any questions about sports, like I gave the example yesterday, I had a friend of mine, Tree's friend, says that, she likes to watch sports with her guy, her man, but she doesn't understand what's going on a lot of times, and she doesn't want to feel like a dummy, and she doesn't want to ask questions. If you want to ask a question about anything today, ladies go first in line. We'll grab your call, and any question you got about sports, about penalties, about calls, situations, about rules, about why they did this or this. It's almost like that commercial with the insurance lady, and she talked about why is a strike good in baseball, or good in bowling, but bad in baseball. So that type of thing, I like the ladies. We'll help the ladies out as well. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. That's 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you very much for joining me. So what are your thoughts on the Redskins and what's this they're talking about in Washington and the fact that Kirk Cousins is probably going to keep this job? He's probably going to keep this job even when RG3 is able to come back and play. I think that you have to keep Cousins out there. Based on what he's done so far, I think you got to keep him out there even when Griffin comes back. I do. You remember this situation before. I'm not saying that this is the exact thing that's going to happen, but you remember what happened in New England. And I'm a guy that always believes that the starter can't lose his job to injury. I do believe that. I believe that you should be able to keep your job if you're the starter. You prove that you're a starter in the fact that you outbeat the competition during preseason and through two-a-days. So I feel like that you earned the job. It should be your job. But in certain situations, you can't go by that. You just got to go by what works. And Kirk Cousins is definitely working. Here's a tweet from a man, PMC Gawan 90. He says, RG3 is done. And I don't want to go that far because the kid has talent. He obviously won a Heisman Trophy. Thanks for the tweet, PMC Gawan. He won a Heisman Trophy in college, brought a lot of attention and great press to that Baylor program, one of the worst programs in college football historically. Had a phenomenal rookie year. And that rookie year, if you go back, the question about, who should these teams should have taken between RG3 and Andrew Luck, that was the big question. That was the question. Yeah, it looks like the Redskins got it right. That's what it looked like. But injuries change everything. Injuries change absolutely everything. So I don't know if he gets his job back when he comes back from injury, but I do believe that he's going to get an opportunity to start again somewhere in the NFL. I don't know if it's going to be with the Redskins because I think based on the curve that Kirk Cousins is going through right now or going with right now, I think this is Kirk Cousins' job. And wow, when you look back at it, what did Shanahan know? Because I remember when they drafted Cousins, everybody was like, why would they take a quarterback that high at the position that they took him? Why would you do that to your guy that you're definitely going to start in RG3, have a very good player out of the college ranks in Kirk Cousins? Why would you draft the player to be, looking over his shoulder at all times? Why would you do that? Maybe in hindsight right now, Shanahan had an idea. Maybe their team doctor said, listen, this guy's knees are just not stable at all. He's going to run the risk of injury every single time he steps on the field. It may not be. He may be just fine, but there's a real chance that this guy is going to have injury issues. And the Redskins took Kirk Cousins. And now it's looking like the genius move of a lifetime because of all the issues that RG3 has had. So I want to get your thoughts on that. I want to get your thoughts on the Redskins and, what would you do? What would you do if you're a Skins fan? And I even hate saying the name Redskins. Like my boy Mark Gray in DC says the burgundy and gold because he refuses to use the term Redskins, but it's a habit type thing. And so that's why it happens. That's why it comes out. But the burgundy and gold, if you're a fan of the burgundy and gold, how do you feel about this situation? You guys were so geeked up. Y'all were so geeked up when RG3's rookie year was going so splendidly. You were geeked up. And oh, how fast things change, especially in the NFL where injuries are just part of the game. I mean, especially in the NFL, because at any point somebody could just Their career could be over. If you look at what happened to the Tully kid, the linebacker for the Detroit Lions this past weekend, he had the longest streak of consecutive played games by a defensive player in the NFL. I don't remember the exact figure. And then he gets hurt doing the discount double check dance when they played against Green Bay this weekend. So at any time, your career could be over. Not just out for a couple of weeks. At any time, your career could be over. And that's no lie. And I'm a guy that's been there. 1 minute, everything's going peachy keen. I got it going on. I'm on the football field, the practice field for South Carolina State University. Been playing football ever since the age of 7. Never missed a year of football except for the 1 year I transferred. Had to sit out a year. Transferred to South Carolina State on the practice field in the spring. And 1 minute I'm playing football my entire life. The next minute I take my helmet off for the last time. And that's how it happens in football. It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. And so I really hope RG3 can get it together, but I wouldn't bet on it. I just would not bet on it. A little bit later in today's show, we're going to talk some Falcons football with D. Orlando Ledbetter from the Atlanta Journal and Constitution and find out what are the Falcons going to do about this wide receiver situation, because they got a situation. Because you got to find a way to get the ball into Devin Hester's hands more, not just on the special teams. And I think that's what they were kind of banking on when they signed him, was just a guy to come in here and return punts and kicks. But, he is so much more. So we're going to talk to D-Led about that. And when we get back from the break, we're going to grab more of your calls. We're going to read some of your tweets. And I got a question for you. What's really going on in Texas with the Longhorns? We'll get into that. Grab your calls. It's the Doug Stewart Show. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at your boat. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Yes! This your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and a fully encompassed prepaid legal benefit that includes identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. I'm always saying get with the times. Stop acting like you at your mama house, calling that girl you met at summer camp 2 states away, and your mama screaming out, "I know you better not be talking long distance running up my bill with that little hussy girl." Well, get with the times with your long distance charges. Presenting Univon. Univon offers unlimited worldwide calling to 60-plus countries for $14.99 a month. No contract, no activation fee, and no cancellation fee. Users can call anytime using their mobile phone or home IP phone. So stop flushing money down the drain. Get more details by clicking Univon's link banner on thedugstewartshow.com or the link on the DougStewartShow.com app. Try out Univon and call your peoples like you not at your mama house.
All meat, no fluff. The Doug Stewart Show.
That's right. All meat, no fluff. This is the Doug Stewart, the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, truest show in America. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. Continue to pass the word. I need you to tell at least 2 people. Just tell 2 people and I'll be happy. I won't be on your back all the time telling you to tell 2 people. Just tell 2 people, all right? The website, mobile app. You can listen to the show in a variety of ways. All right, you can go to Spreaker.com and download their app as well, or you can just go straight to thedugstewartshow.com.